Well, talking about orgonite and how you can make your own. Many people copycatted orgonite, and some even claim to have invented it, or some others besides me has invented it. A decade after my invention, which was all over the internet, because my G generator, also my invention, was containing orgonite. A few months after I invented it, all of them had orgonite in it already, because it's simply a stronger material than the Reichian material, which is alternating organic and metallic material. Now, instead of alternating layers, I just decided to use metal powder and mix it with organic material, which is hundreds and hundreds of layers. Of course, the finer the powder, the better. And I coined the word orgonite, which in fact is my registered trademark. And here I tell you the basic formula, and you can make it and you compare it with other options. That's all. You get your own experience without. So all you need is some epoxy. That's the beginning. This is 5-minute epoxy. Some metal powder and a mixing dish and a few things to store. And basically you pour in the epoxy and mix it about with 40% by weight of metal dust. As I said, the finer the better. This is from Luco, which you find in any art supply store. Metal powder as such. Be sure it's metal powder and not some plastic with gold tone also. That's, you know how to do this. So, and mix the whole thing. The finer the better, the metal the better. And that compares to hundreds and hundreds of layers, especially when very fine, of orgone accumulators. So relatively small pieces of orgonite will have tremendous power, such as water transfer disk, which I have here. This is a power booster, and this thing, all you need to do is make something like this and then compare. This, of course, is made with super orgonite. It's a little bit, I say, it's quite ahead of what I'm saying here, and this stays classified. And now you can, as organic material, you can use some other materials. Coal dust for the metal works also as an addition to it. Instead of the organic material, you can use some other stuff. For instance, you can use, which of course has a disadvantage of melting, but it's very flexible, beeswax. Or you can use ordinary candle wax. That's also organic, compares somewhat to epoxy. Or you can take, to make it flexible or to paste something over with orgonite, you can use latex paint or you can use caulk. And about 40% of metal is okay. You can use less, you can use more. It's not so much of a problem. But this is, caulk is great, you know. Latex is great. Then you can paint basically an orgonite layer onto something on the outside, and it's basically becoming, if you paint it around a container, you know that container then is an orgone accumulator. Be sure to have inside a layer so the inside is really metallic, or you can even put some aluminum foil onto the inside. As far as aluminum is concerned, some people have reservations about the vibration of aluminum. Well, if it's really so bad, they have to throw away all the porcelain cups which have aluminum in it, all the clay cups, or porcelain or china, I mean. And they shouldn't live on this planet because 30% of the outer layer is aluminum, actually. So, in case you don't know that, you know, that's, well, my good education prevents me to say what I think it is, a claim like this. We wouldn't live here if it was that bad. So, for this, and I showed you other materials. You know, anything organic will work. You have your own ideas, and carbon is okay for metal as well. Except I would always mix it with some real metal dust or powder. And now something rather funny. An acquaintance of mine, quote, channeled, unquote, you know, that crystals on the hood of a car, I put them in there, you know, another one, and another one, will actually produce 50% more horsepower. And if there is no crystal, then the nano-quantum atoms of the burning gas will rotate in uncontrollable directions. However, it turned out that she could not channel the actual structure of this more than 100-year-old technical equipment, namely the four-stroke engine. And when confronted with this, some excuses she brought about this being totally irrelevant and the like, you know. It reminds me a little bit of some alternative healers who do not know how many bones there are in a human wrist. Since alternative healing is about the only healing I'm accepting for myself, of course I'm staying away from folks of this special breed of ignorance. Well, this just is something, well, look between the lines and you know what I mean, and get a healthy laugh. I really got a healthy laugh myself in composing it. And as I mentioned already in my website orgonetec.com, I actually am pretty satisfied with people who were copying me. After all, I didn't patent the orgonite nor the orgone generator on purpose, because there is always a danger of, and you may have noticed that a few times, of a, how do you call it, a forced patent sale. And in this case, nobody would then have been able to manufacture my inventions. This was pragmatism, plain and simple. And I'm going to do the same thing with other things which I have on the cooker right now, which I'm going to come out with. And of course I love to make fun of some of the copycats. And even so I like the fact that they're around. And any one of the copycats should feel free to contact me. And I did that laughter only after some of the copying folk decided to run a smear campaign against me. That's, I think, pretty much over. After they had initially stolen my ideas. Really, copycats don't need to feel guilty about copying me. In fact, they are part of the solution, that everybody can use orgone generators nowadays. And I may be a bit paranoid, I saw a real danger that if I patent it, somebody will come by my door and force me to sell the patent. This is just in addition to what I say here with orgonite. And I talk more about it on orgonetec.com and on others of my websites. Have a great day and have fun making this orgonite and comparing it with some other proposals